Here we go. Welcome to our fun class number 6. Today, we're going to talk about 3 different things that I know are important to you. And they make your day fly and flow and be awesome or not. So get some pencil out, get ready to learn some really important things today. We are going to share the screen and you'll be able to see, please in the chat, let me know if you're seeing the 3 topics of the day: sleep, stress, and emotions. And we're going to talk a lot about individually and then how they work together to create something wonderful or something really hard. So I know all of you, I think, are mothers. So we know that you have a bundle of stress, not enough sleep, and emotions that sometimes feel out of your venue, like someone else is pulling your puppet strings. So hopefully today will help. This is number 6. You guys are doing so great through the holidays and sticking with these topics. I'm so excited for you, the things that you're going to know how to handle that are going to be coming. I promise they're coming or have already come. So we're 2 classes from your diffuser, and that's what the 2 topics for the next 2 weeks are. So if you know somebody who's got some concerns about women's issues and hormones or pain, please invite them to just join us for those 2. So our format's the same as last time. We're going to talk about topics. We're going to answer questions. We're going to talk about the joys of sharing oils, and we're going to have an on-time drawing. Congratulations of those who are on time, and a final drawing. So if you feel lucky, stay till the end. So now here's a quiz at the very beginning. I want you to rate your stress, your sleep, and your emotions right here at the beginning. So if you've got some paper, write it down, put it in your notes, in your phone, but make a list of, not make a list, rate yourself from 1 to 10. 1 is not at all, and 10 is it's a big problem. So just rate these 3 categories real quickly. So how often are you aware of being stressed? How often is your quantity and quality of sleep, are they concerning you, or is that a problem? And are your feelings manageable? Because we're not, this is something I thought, when I'm self-actualized and I've become, that I'm going to have emotions that go like this. And that's not how we were meant to experience life, to just have, nothing affects me, because if nothing affects you to upset you, nothing affects you to make you joyous and happy either. So we're meant to have them, but we need to feel like we're being able to manage them appropriately. So however you rated your scale, let's talk a little bit about the mechanics of all 3 of these things we're going to talk about today. There is a little tiny control center in your brain called the hypothalamus, and it sends out messages to your bodies to release hormones depending on being stressed. And that's to protect you. That's the primitive brain that's their number 1 goal is survival, that you survive. And so that's a good thing. It's not a good thing when it's continuous, prolonged, and it can create some really lasting physical and mental well-being effects that are not pretty. So we think about the bear chasing us through the forest. Your body would send out those hormones that it needs to run or be super clear in your mind, get up a tree, whatever, to protect you. The problem is that our brain doesn't know the difference between a flat tire when we have an appointment that we are in charge of, or a bear. Our body reacts the same way. And in our modern society, especially if we have children in the mix and a husband and all kinds of responsibilities and we're working, there are a lot of opportunities for that bear to surface, and our bodies are continually sending out those hormones that were meant to protect us from the bear. So that's what we want to try to reduce, is having everything that goes wrong or goes off plan probably is better. We don't want all of those things to register at the bear, because if we do, these are the symptoms of chronic stress over here on the right: irritability, anxiety and depression, headaches, insomnia. Your immune function just gets hacked and your blood pressure goes up. So those are all good things if we're running from the bear, but when it's a continuous situation, our body cannot maintain. And these are our side effects. And most of our sleep problems are not medical or environmental. They are psychophysiological. So there's a mind-body balance in there that's keeping you from sleeping. And then when your body releases these hormones, one of the big ones is cortisol. You probably heard about cortisol. Cortisol, it gets released in times of stress to help us deal with the stress, but it also lowers the ability of melatonin to rise naturally in our body so that we can have restful sleep. So the more stressed we are, the melatonin doesn't get released. And then we're just on this stress cycle of I'm so stressed. Then we're finally exhausted for 4 hours. We sleep like a dead woman. And then we start the cycle all over again. So this is what we want to look at, some ways to interrupt that. Sleep hygiene was an interesting concept that I studied when I was having struggles with insomnia. And there's a lot of things that you can do to adjust your environment and your routine. So look these over, see which ones maybe you could tweak a little bit in your own environment. A cool, quiet, comfortable, dark place. Dark is crucial because light triggers different parts in your brain. Even if it's, you live on a street corner and you happen to have a street lamp right handy, then that light can affect how deeply you're going to sleep because your body triggers to sunlight, waking up, and all those kinds of things. I discovered this when we went on a cruise one time, and we had a room down deep in the belly of the boat with no porthole, and so it was completely dark, and we slept better than we had slept in decades. So I came home and I aluminum foiled all the windows in our bedroom so that it was that same kind of dark, and it has made a big difference. We have light darkening windows now and curtains in our bedroom. So that's a big one. Regular sleep schedule. How many of you guys stay up late on the weekends? Because, you don't have to get up, get the kids off, or your husband doesn't have to work tomorrow, and you're not going to work tomorrow. And that throws your whole cycle off for the whole week. So if you can be mature enough, I think it takes an element of maturity, because it's like you just want to hang out and watch one more episode of whatever it is you love. If you can keep your sleep schedule fairly regularly, if it's 11 to 7, that's 8 hours, that's good. 10 to 6. If you keep that all week long, you got it made. Only 2 things you should do in the bedroom. You figure out what those are. And worry, just lay there in bed going, I need to be asleep. I need to be asleep. This is terrible. This is the time to be asleep. The more you worry about not getting enough sleep, the more you won't sleep. Drugs, caffeine, and food after 8 will keep your body digesting and dealing with the chemicals you just put in your body, rather than letting it sleep. If you've eaten at 6 and you go to bed at 10, the food's been digested, and so now your body can relax and there's no work for it to do. Don't nap. If you want a power nap, 20 minutes, set your timer. And white noise. I know a lot of people really like white noise. They run a fan or they have a little white noise device. And screens, the lights from your phone or your computer or your TV, within 30 minutes of going to sleep, again, it's that light thing, that blue light that comes off from that. It stimulates a part of your brain to keep you awake. So if you love to scroll right at the end of the day, try to break that habit so that you can really get some good restful sleep. So those are things that have nothing to do with doTERRA or herbs or nutrition, but everything to do with things that you can maybe find something you can do to improve from that list. Now here's some things that doTERRA has that can help you. So these are 2 different nightly regimens that you can have that will really help. Now, Serenity, we've talked about that oil a few times. It has the components in a soft gel. So you just take this internally. You can take 1, 2 to see how your body goes. There's been times when things have been very high stress, and I've taken 6 at bedtime, and it's been just what I needed that particular day. So again, we're individualizing. You pay attention to what's happening with your body. But Serenity calms your nervous system. That's what's getting wired up. That's what's getting that cycle going in your head. And it really can help you get that kind of sleep that you need to recharge for tomorrow. Your kids are recharging when they're sleeping. You need to be recharging. They're going to come out in the morning full of energy, and you've got to at least match that. Copaiba also can help at nighttime if you're having anxious feelings. That also is an oil that's in a soft gel that can calm your nervous system and help with anxious feelings and get you balanced again after a day that might have really thrown you off balance. So those two are really great. You can use those together. And again, just experiment and, keep notes, or just keep a mental note of, I took 2 and I kind of slept okay, but I'm going to try 3 tonight and see. But that doesn't mean take 3 a night the rest of your life. So you're always trying to just pay attention to your body and what it needs. An alternative could be the adaptive soft gels. An adaptive is that mind wellness blend, and it just encourages your mind to be more on a positive note. So you don't go over everything that went wrong today, but it just promotes the positive feelings, positive thoughts, and encourages your body to relax and your mind. Double that up with Copaiba. And then also the Aeropalm, which we talked about last week with skincare, but it's got so much good mental health antioxidant factors in there that supports your brain. And if it's your brain keeping you awake, that might be the very supplement that you want to try and see if that'll do the trick for you so that you can get some restful sleep. Now, this is a really cool roller bottle formula, and you put it in a 10 ml roller bottle like this. I would suggest you get some either from doTERRA or get some from Aromatools. I get them some on Amazon sometimes, and I just have them on hand so that when I find a recipe like this that I want to play with, I've got this. This is 20 drops of each of these oils in your roller bottle, and then fill it up with fractionated coconut oil. And that shows you why each of those is in there. But it is so fun. And I have mine in my roller bottle. It's just called Sleep. I just labeled it at the top, Sleep, and put that on your feet, your big toe in particular, because that's the meridian for your brain. We're trying to get our brains to relax. And the palms of your hands, put a little on your pillow, inhale it out of your hands. This is a great one to mix up. And I wanted to show you a little bit about vetiver. That might be not an oil that you're not very familiar with. Just a heads up to it. It's very thick. So when you're counting out your 20 drops, turn on a good movie. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad, but it's pretty slow. So just be patient. They will come. 20 will come, I promise. So here's a little bit about vetiver and where we get it from.
We hiked up the mountain to be able to meet with the people who are harvesting the vetiver for us. The first reaction I had was hope. It was beautiful. It was lush and green. It was very different from what you see in the cities in Haiti. The next thing I really noticed was how hard they work. Their calloused hands, their weathered faces, but they took pride in their work.
Vetiver is a really interesting crop in that it's a very hardy grass. It can grow just about anywhere. That was introduced there primarily for the fragrance industry, and we have targeted for the aromatherapy industry specifically, both with our partners on the ground there and the cooperative we're working with to grow our raw materials.
The manual labor required to harvest vetiver is quite incredible. It's much harder than what I ever imagined. And they do this day in and day out. Not only do they pull the vetiver plant out of the ground, but then they've got to take a stick and they've got to beat the dirt out of the root system so that all they have left is just that pure vetiver root.
15 days to produce 1 gallon of oil. 500 of these bales to fill up one of those 20-foot tall steels, and after it's harvested, you'll get 1 gallon of oil for 5 guys' work for 15 days. Haiti, being the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, truly is an ideal place for co-impact sourcing. They have tens of thousands of small-scale farmers who are largely unorganized, and our being able to go there and truly make an impact, a difference in a country that badly needs it, presented us a great opportunity to undertake our sourcing initiatives there.
Planifier sous quantité vétiver qui pour et récolter. Vous comprenez, pour nous capables de quitter vétiver avec dans terre pour une bonne planification, bonne gestion qui fait là-dedans, ni au point de vue champ, ni au point de vue en d'un bureau qui va gérer.
As we met with the cooperative and to be able to really understand some of the challenges and trials that they were dealing with. First of all is that the income that they were receiving was not sustainable. They would go out and harvest vetiver as they needed it, but it didn't sustain them throughout the year to be able to provide for their family, to provide the food that they needed, to be able to provide even the simplest of things like education. They couldn't afford to send their children to school because they didn't have that sustainable stream of income throughout the year.
Today we had a great meeting. They proved to me personally, I even cry after hearing certain things, you know, that makes me more motivated to have those people working very hard in the vetiver field to make it a better life. Even if I have a distillery and I don't have those people, I won't be able to work. And even if those people have their field full of vetiver and they don't have the distillery, nobody will be able. But it's like a chain on a motorcycle, on a bicycle that is going thief after thief, you know. So we have been doing that work, and having a company like doTERRA, you know, coming and have the same vision and same route and have all the Haitian in the vetiver field have a better life, including myself.
What touched me the most as we met with them is to discover that they had no access to clean water, that they were traveling for 3 hours every single day to be able to collect water that wasn't even drinkable.
This was really very touching to hear, you know, certain people in 2014 that didn't have water, you know, to even bathe or water to even cook their food. They have to walk hours from where we were to get a single gallon of water. And myself, I don't accept that. I want to change their way of life, but I won't be able to make a miracle.
As we sat there, and we understood the desires of their heart to someday have water, we made a commitment that we would bring that to them. We can make a difference. We can do that because that's what we stand for.
I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. So you probably wonder, what does that have to do with the topics today? I just wanted you to feel in your heart every time I see that. I just go buy another bottle of Vetiver, just even if I don't need one, because of the effort they're making to create these wonderful oils for us and the difference. I am so proud to be associated with doTERRA because of what they do when they go in and create a contract with the farmers. They make their lives better and they bring us oils that make our lives better. And it's the most beautiful thing. I love the analogy that the one speaker said about a chain and on a bicycle and the wheels and how they both work together. So vetiver is an amazing oil for calm and relaxation. It's a primary ingredient in the oil Intune, which is a great oil for focus and really helps kids that have trouble focusing, adults that have a real struggle staying on task. That's vetiver. So that's why vetiver is amazing. Now we're going to move in and talk a little bit about emotions. Now we talked about, sleep problems are psychophysiological. That's because there's something going on in our mind and our emotions. So here's a great way to look at some of our 4 really wonderful oils in adjusting some of the issues that cause sleep problems and help with stress. We can't eliminate stress because that means you're dead. Stress is just part of being alive. And so things happen. It's how we manage our reaction to that. We manage our thoughts about it. So we've got these 4 oils: Serenity, Balance, Citrus Bliss, and Cheer. And these 4 oils can work together. And if you have them, you can really decide, okay, what's happening right now and what oil do I need to use? Megan, be thinking about one of these oils that you've used. And if any of the rest of you have had an experience, I know Cindy, you're kind of an experienced oil user. I'd love to have some help, share some stories about using any of these 4 oils, but I'll explain them real quick and then you share if you've got something you'd like to tell us about. But Serenity, we talked about it in the soft gel. The oil helps to just do this calming. It's got a lot of the lavender in it with some other oils that just really creates that calming. So if you're in a situation where you're feeling fatigued, figure out, are you in a place where there's no peace? So things are kind of churned up, or no passion. You don't care. You freaking don't care anymore. That's kind of that fight or flight. And the other end of that is, I don't care. I just don't care. So you figure out where you are. You might need a combination. If you're really exhausted and you're feeling no peace, then you might be served by using some Serenity. If you're really exhausted and you don't care about anything, Citrus Bliss is going to invigorate you and help you care again and feel motivated and ready to do whatever it is. Then down on the bottom, if you're stressed, super stressed, just too many things have happened all at once and you're just not coping, you feel like you're flying off the handle, well, use your Balance. That's the grounding. Think of that. It's all made from trees and it's just grounding you to be able to feel like, I am solid, I am safe. If you're feeling stressed and you just don't care, again, we're going to head over to Cheer. Cheer is a great combination. It's a blend that helps to lift and encourage and inspire. And the 2 oils that are on that side of lifting and getting you motivated all have citrus in them. So whenever you're feeling a little bit dull and dreary and feeling depressed feelings, citrus, go for a citrus, put it in your water, put it on you, put it in the diffuser. It's going to help. So this is a good little chart that helps to figure out, where am I? What would I like to do? How do I want to feel? Now, Adaptive is a new kid on the block in the last year and a half, and it has the ability to just go into your brain, calm your nervous system from the inside out, and it smells so good. Oh, I forgot to ask. So let's go back a slide. Hey, Cindy or Megan or anybody else, have you got anything to share about using any of these oils?
I always just associated Serenity with sleep, and I don't struggle sleeping. So I haven't used it much, but I have been watching like
You muted by accident or something. Come back. We're not hearing you, Megan. You got muted.
Serenity, the more I'm realizing that it is an emotional oil and it's really good for helping with calming and stuff. And
We keep losing you, Megan. I'm not sure. Can you hear me? Because we're losing your audio. We can't hear you. We keep
Oh,
losing your
can you-
audio in and out, Megan, so we didn't hear most of that.
sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Sorry, I keep getting this phone call. Someone's trying really hard to call me.
well, maybe that's why it's cutting in and out. Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, I was just saying we can learn about all of these oils in the Love Oils thing, and I'll put it down in the chat for anyone that wants to follow that link and like learn more about individual ones. And there's like little videos and testimonials and stuff. But I was just saying that I'm really intrigued by the emotional benefits of Serenity, not just for sleep, but to like help with a restful state, to calm your nerves and things like that. I just didn't know that it did that. So I'm hoping to use it that way.
Awesome. Thank you. Cindy, did you have any experience with any of these 4 oils? Hello, Cindy.
Hello. Yeah, I use Serenity to help me sleep. And then also if I'm going to have a stressful day, I try to use a little bit of Serenity on bottom of my feet and in my head.
I encourage you to thank you, Cindy. It can do both. And I think we did get the idea that it was a blend just to go to sleep, and it's not. It's just to calm things down. Like I do a lot of, I'm Mrs. Claus to my cute, handsome Santa Claus, and we do a lot of performing. And there are sometimes when it's like a really big group and I am experiencing that stress. It's happy stress, right? I just get to go play with little kids, but I'm on stage and it's a little nerve-wracking. Serenity is in my Santa bag and I'm just smelling it and putting it on so that I don't let the nerves get in the way. And you know, like Cindy said, you can tell some days are going to be more stressful or some experiences. That's your go-to. So I'm glad you guys are finding that. And it doesn't put you to sleep. Just relaxes the stress level. Now, Adaptive. Started talking about that. That comes in 3 different forms. It comes in the oil that you can diffuse. It comes in soft gels you can take internally, and it has a roller bottle, so it's real portable. You can just throw it in your bag. And it really has the ability to get in there, to get your mind in a relaxed, comfortable state, and works from the inside out. You really might find this is helpful. A lot of people that I work with have found it's just wonderful for anxious feelings. If they just have those on a regular basis, it can just put them in the state of being able to manage their day. So there's a lot of, you see, there's a variety of things you can try. Okay, and always, you know, I have a class without talking about our favorite, Lifelong Vitality. And I want to really focus today on the 30-day money-back guarantee. So I encourage you to take advantage of that, because if you put that on your order, you try it for 30 days. And if you didn't see any difference, you just call them and say, I want my money back, and they will refund it back on your card right then on the spot. No questions asked. It's really easy. Very, very, very few people in the 12 years of doTERRA have found that it didn't do something. And so if you're going to start taking it, we want to encourage you, reach out so that I can send you, maybe I'll just attach it. I'm just going to attach it to today's email. Making a note there. We have a little checklist. So you check it on day 1 and you check it on day 30 and see, because sometimes things get better, we don't notice. It's like if you had a really bad headache and man, you cannot ignore that. You know, I've got a really bad headache. Then 2 or 3 hours later, when you don't have a bad headache anymore, you don't even remember to think about, oh, I don't have a headache anymore. You know what I mean? It's like when it's gone, you don't remember. So the checklist is to help you see what actually happened in my 30 days. And if your doctor said, okay, I want you to increase whatever, you can look at it. Mine said calcium. You want to make sure you got this level of calcium. I can just look right here, 500 milligrams of calcium in the Microplex VMZ. And you can see what's in here that maybe your doctor's wanting you to have. There it is all together. And it's bioavailable so that your body can access it and you don't have the healthiest toilet down. Because if your body can't use it, if it's synthetic, even though it says on the label, it's just going to go right on through. Now, emotions, every oil, pick an oil out of the box. Every oil has an emotional use for it. And the way you learn about what that is to get a book. So you'll know what the emotional component of. If you have the Modern Essentials or you got the Droply app, that's specifically talking about your body. But if you want to find out what oils do emotionally, this is the book you'll want to get, or one like it. There are others out there as well. And it'll be a goldmine because you've got oils in your home. And so if you know what the emotional side of it is, you'll know when to use that. And every oil has an emotional side. Megan, do you have anything you wanted to share about that? I just saw you went off.
So essentially, can you hear me?
Yes.
There we go. Okay. I was just gonna say emotionals are I'm finding are very intuitive. And so like and I'm not a very intuitive person, but whenever I like think of an oil that I'm like drawn to, I'm like, oh, I wonder what the emotional side of that oil is, like why I want that oil right now. And so I love to go to my essential emotions book and look it up because it's really interesting. It always like whatever oil I'm wanting to put on or use, there's things with the emotional side that just like really target what I'm feeling right then or what I'm dealing with. And so it's just a fun book to have that way as well. So you can see like what the oils do, how they help fortify you against certain emotions and things, and what things you may be dealing with that it will help heal.
It is amazing. It's like we have the oil smorgasbord of emotions. Seriously, I've said that before, but you really can. And you just have to remember, I have this in my toolbox. Adrienne, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I did. So I have this book and I've used it for years, not with the oils, but like emotionally. And then when I got into doTERRA, I started incorporating oils into it. But I just wanted to share a little bit more about it because it's so cool how it works. Because if you have something wrong with your body, like it has a body guide in this book and you can go, like this morning, my pointer finger was hurting really bad. I must have slept on it weird or done something weird last night, but I looked in there and there are emotions listed, and then you go to the emotion and it has the oils that you're supposed to use to help work through that emotion. And it's really cool because I think the ones that I used were lemon and On Guard and Clary Calm. And so I used all of those this morning and my finger's not hurting anymore. And it had been like since I woke up, and I used it probably 2 hours ago. And so it's just really cool because it can help you to like target what's going on in your body emotionally and physically.
So what book do you use, Adrienne?
It's this one, the Essential Emotions book.
Okay, great. Yeah, our emotions are really great things. To me, I feel like they're like a compass pointer that when we have an emotion and we can figure out, okay, what is that? What am I addressing? And it works in concert with your body. So your finger was working like the chain on the bicycle with your emotion to figure out what oil would help to help ease whatever that was. I think sometimes we are in such a culture where we have a headache, we pop a couple of aspirin or ibuprofen and just ignore it. But you have a headache. Okay, take just 30 seconds to think, why do I have a headache right now? What's going on? Because usually there's an emotion, there's something that's going on that you can address with the oils. So it's not just, let's just get rid of that pain. We can actually work in concert with our emotions and our bodies and our mind to pay attention, have a more full life because we're actually working together to figure all that out. That's cool, Adrienne. I think that's great. You've done that for years with emotions. That's awesome. Well, I encourage all of you, ask for this for Christmas. Get this in your library because it'll really solve a lot of issues and do it so naturally, and it'll smell good while you're working your issues out. Now, I suggest that you take a screenshot of this one or a picture because these blends are awesome for managing emotions. Remember, we talked about the oils that calm, that ground, that lift. These are some wonderful blends that you can throw in your diffuser. If you don't have one yet, you will very soon. So hang in there. And so it shows you how many, the number of little droplets. Beside that's how many drops of that oil that you put together in your diffuser. Some of these blends are so yummy. You'll have favorites. And keep your oils that you like to diffuse right next to wherever it is you keep your diffuser, and keep a little pitcher or something close by with water in, so you can just fill your diffuser. Have that be one of your kids' jobs in the morning, is to go turn the diffuser on with whatever blend you want, have them put in it, because it will change the atmosphere. It literally does. I run Holiday Peace every time all my kids are together, and we got through Thanksgiving with not one fight. I had all the diffusers I owned out of the house with Holiday Peace. It works. So what would you maybe put on your monthly order? This could be a combination. You maybe want to try the adaptive system. So you're going to put that collection on there. You have a little bit of savings on any of the products when they come in a set. You'll save a little bit more than over buying them individually. Wild Orange Citrus, there's your lifter. The number one oil for depressed feelings and anxiety is wild orange. And copaiba, take that internally to calm down your nervous system. Balance to keep you grounded. If you're having trouble sleeping, I've talked about this before, keep balance by your bed. And if your mind starts spinning all that mental chatter, if either right when you're trying to go to sleep or you wake up and you're going to solve world peace and your mind is actually thinking it's going to do that. Do you guys do that? It's like, and then when I wake up in the morning, I go, really? I was laying in bed thinking about that? Balance is going to shut down that mental chatter for you so you can go back to sleep. So all of these together, you'd get your free product of the month. This month, it's the cutest, oh, I should have had it here. It's on my tree. The cute little ornament. It's a little clay ornament and a balsam fir oil that isn't sellable. I mean, we can't purchase it any other way. And I put it on that little ornament, stuck it on my fake tree, and it smelled awesome. And it lasted the whole evening. So that's what the free oil of the month is this month. And you'll get your free product credits, same as cash. So you get your doTERRA dollars. Now there is a program that doTERRA came up with called the Sleep Wellness Program. So if sleep is a priority to you, this is something that has 3 kits. You get one a month for 3 months, and it has a collection of different products each month and instructions on how to use it to try to train yourself to sleep. Sounds ridiculous, but remember when you trained your babies to sleep all night? Sometimes we need to retrain ourselves as adults. So there's kit number 1 has these items in it with instructions on how to use them. And then next month, it would be this second kit with different collection of things and different ideas on how to help you sleep. So, and the idea of this is to find out what works for you specifically to get good restful sleep. Then month 3 has a different collection again. By the end of that, you will have everything that will help with sleep, and you'll also know what works the best for you, and you can help anyone else in your family with that collection. So that's something to look for. It's the Sleep Wellness Kit. And here's all the cool stuff for December. December is frankincense month. It's like free. With 200 PV, you get a free frankincense. Frankincense retailed for $100, and it's free with a 200 PV order. So do some Christmas shopping, stock up on things that you know you're going to need next year so you can get your free frank. And there's our little ornament with the balsam fir and 10% off Douglas fir. Oh, I just love all the furs at Christmas. It just smells so good. And then just for now, this little bubble diffuser is so cute. Does anybody have one? I have like 5. I got them at convention, because they are so awesome, and they don't sell them as a regular product, but they are motion detectors. like they squirt out 3 squirts of aroma if there's motion. So it's great to put in any place smelly, like if you have a litter box or a teenage boy bedroom or the bathrooms, they're awesome. So they have the little bubble diffuser and the hygge oil. I know it's Scandinavian and you pronounce that hygge, but it's a comforting hug, warm fireplace, snuggle under a blanket aroma. That's available just until they're gone. So if that looks interesting, grab it. Okay, we're at the on-time drawing moment. Let me see who all's here. All righty, we had Trisha, Crystal, Cindy, Joe, Hannah, Becky. Oh, you guys are so good. I think those of you that have gotten the little purple envelope are pretty excited because you know. Okay, I think that's who. Was there anybody here on time that I'm missing? I don't want to leave anybody out if I missed your name. And I don't know who 208 something ending with 407. Is that Amelia?
It's Tammy.
Tammy. Okay. Tammy's here. Hi, Tammy. You're just a number on my screen. Okay, let's see who wins the on-time drawing this week. Trisha, you're a lucky girl.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Weeks in a row. Good job, girl. Okay. So I'm going to stop the share for just a minute. Is there anything anybody would like to share about wonderful oil stories that you have or questions that you have about anything we talked about today?
Hey,
Adrian.
hi. So Adaptive is my very favorite oil, and I just wanted to talk about it for a second because I take the capsules every day, and I have a roller bottle that I carry around in my purse because I get super stressed. Like I have anxiety, I have 4 kids, and I homeschool, so my life is pretty busy. But I just love those so much because they've changed my life so much for the better, because as soon as I'm starting to feel really anxious or stressed, I take one of the capsules or I put some oil on my neck or my wrists and it helps immediately. It's so cool. And I don't know if it's like a Pavlov's dog kind of thing, or I'm sure it works too. Like it works, but it's really cool how quickly it works. And like I took it to, my sister had a destination wedding this summer, and I took the roller bottle with me, and my mom and my sisters were getting really stressed out. And so
We lost your audio. There you go.
seeing how it calmed everyone down, and it's just a great product. So if you've never tried it, I highly, highly recommend it.
And Adrian, you pointed out something really important. You can take things every day, but you can also take them on the moment, and the need. And if you've got them handy, it's perfect. That's why the roller bottle is so great. You can just throw it in. You forget you even have it until you're having that moment. And oh yeah, roll, and rub it on everyone else. Anybody you hug is going to get the advantage of that aroma. If any of you have nursing babies, I know Megan does. You put a little lavender on your heart and hold that baby, you and the baby both are going to calm down. Same thing with hugging anybody. You just hug a baby longer when you're nursing. That's awesome. Thanks, Adrian. That's a great vote for Team Adaptive. We use that a lot in our family too. And we use citrus oils a lot in our family. And Serenity at Night. We had a rough day, especially right now, because it's a lot of being super present, super aware when you're being Santa and Mrs. Claus, because you're just wanting to love up these kids and meet their needs and help them feel loved. And you come home and you're just like, oh, but then it's all running around in the head. So we're taking Serenity before we go to bed, and it's making a big difference. Anybody else? Okay, we're going to go back. There's a really yummy video I wanted to share with you about doTERRA. Everything here is about doTERRA. Reminds me of the Herdmans in the Christmas pageant. Everything here is about Jesus. You guys seen that one? Okay, doTERRA has created the Hope Foundation, and I don't know if you've ever experienced the Hope Oil, but I wanted to share just a little bit about what it is. And this is Misty, and she's going to tell us about hope.
The use of the term Pandora's box refers to a multitude of problems and evils. What is less well known is that according to the earliest written record of the myth, there was one item in Pandora's jar that did not escape. That item was hope. Hope. What is hope? I love Desmond Tutu's understanding. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. This is especially poignant when we think about the darkness surrounding human trafficking. The Human Slavery Index estimates that there are 40.3 million people worldwide enslaved by labor and sex trafficking. While doTERRA ensures that small-scale farmers and harvesters are treated ethically, minimizing the risk of labor trafficking, doTERRA Healing Hands supports a wide variety of domestic and global organizations and projects to prevent, rescue, and provide aftercare for those who have been sexually exploited. Sadly, many victims are children and need our help. In the United States, January is Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and doTERRA Healing Hands has many ways for you to join the fight. Throughout this month, we have highlighted just a few of the stories in all of these areas, and we will continue to share on our social media platforms and website throughout the year. Visit doTERRAHealingHands.org today to find out how to donate and also how to individually engage in good. And remember that 100% of your purchase of doTERRA Hope Touch is donated to fight human trafficking. The use
So this is the doTERRA Hope Touch, and it is a wonderful blend that just it's uplifting. It's got citrus in it. It just smells fabulous. And this is the oil that the Healing Hands has promoted, that when you purchase this, rather than have a PV volume, all of the money from your purchase goes straight to the Healing Hands and is used specifically for the human trafficking. And that's a horrible, horrible situation. And we don't need to talk long about how horrible it is. But this is one simple way you can, and it's fun because, you know, you might have someone in your life that needs some hope. Maybe they're going through a really hard time, and you could give them some hope in a bottle that would help uplift them, and it would be helping these people who are enslaved in a time when that is just foreign to us even think about slavery, but it's still happening. It's got a lot of different uses. You use it as an emotional oil, put on your wrists, your neck, and your pulse points, and it's a great one to just have with you. It'll just give you a lift throughout the day. So that's something, just to, maybe you didn't know that that was even an oil. So I love the names of our oils because you can buy peace and hope and motivate and serenity, and you can buy these things, you know. It's like, wow. You know how they always say they should bottle it and sell it. Well, we've got it. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the similar things. I'll bet I'll send you a special prize if somebody will tell me the parable of the buckets in the pipeline. Anybody want to give it a go? You've heard it several times now. Who's brave enough to give me this spiel, and I'll send you a special prize? Anyone? Oh, come on. Okay. All righty then. I'll give you a fast version. This guy held buckets for water. You saw those kids hauling buckets down the mountain in the Vetiver video. They were actually doing this. And doTERRA built them a pipeline. It was so great. But anyway, doTERRA built me one too. So he's hauling buckets, selling his water. He can only do so much. He runs out of days. So he gets an idea and he builds a pipeline. What if we could get a pipeline and bring the water to the village then I wouldn't have to hold buckets all day. So he hauled buckets during the day to pay for his life and built his pipeline. And after 5 years, he had a beautiful pipeline, a faucet he could turn on, and there the water was coming, flowing to him. And he had time now to do other things. That's what doTERRA has become for me. And that's what Megan and Nicole are doing with their doTERRA world, is creating that pipeline. And you create it because it's building your dream. It's not somebody else's. You're not working for someone else's dream. You're building yours. And over the time, it takes time. It's not simple. I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy, and it takes time. But once that pipeline's built, it's just like the pipeline to the village. It's there, lasting. And the little video clips I show you, I just want you to see the integrity level of doTERRA. That's why we've hitched our wagon, excuse me, to doTERRA, because of who they are, what their motivation is, and where they're going. And it's just fun to see doTERRA products being used in more and more hospitals, and more doctors are using them in their regular practice. So you make money so simply. You sample, you teach how to use the sample. Some of you have gotten little sample bottles in the mail in your little purple envelope, and that's share an oil that you've learned something about that would help somebody else. And then help them get their wholesale membership, and then teach them continued support. And that's what we provide. That's what Abundantly Healing provides. That's the umbrella for all of you. And that's where you got your Droply app. This is the support that's there available. And you can basically decide how much extra money would I like to have. Would 300 be great? Would 2,000 be great? How would that change my financial picture? And so that's what's wonderful, is doTERRA has a system that you can just get your oils for free, or you can maybe have a little extra, or maybe this is what you want to do. And that the internet has made it so doable to do this. I mean, look at all of us. We're in a class together, and we are in how many different cities and how many miles apart, but it's so possible now to do all of this online, which is just sweet. So Greg Cook is one of our executive founders, and he said this: when you share doTERRA products, you bring hope and wellness to the people you love, your community, and ultimately the world. Selling doTERRA the doTERRA way is about service. One drop at a time and one person at a time. We're serving the world with wellness solutions. I just worked with a young man yesterday, and this is the craziest story. He's an athlete and he's a runner, and he was running, and it was a little bit dusk. And you know those cement dividers that they're portable, and they can make a lane in a traffic, and they line them all up together. Do you know the kind they kind of were shaped like this and then over like that? They're maybe 3 feet tall. Well, they were along the side where he was running, and he thought, I want to get farther off the road. So he just jumped over it to run on the edge on the other side, not knowing that over it was an overpass. And he leaped over the cement barrier and fell 40 feet onto cement below. And imagine what that did to his body. He crushed his pelvis, and his internal organs were a mess, and broke his collarbone, and just ribs, and everything was just so damaged. And he's been working towards being able to come here so I could teach him and his wife how to do the AromaTouch. Now, the AromaTouch technique is something that, Megan, we've got to make sure everybody knows about, because this is you guys do it in your home, don't you? Megan, do you guys do the AromaTouch? It is a technique of oils that is meant to stimulate the nervous system so that it can heal and it can function properly. And that's what my massage table is. That's what I use that for over here. So he was here learning how, his wife was learning how to do that for him. He had like that hot pins and needles nerve pain in his left foot. He's walking with a cane now. 2 months later, he's strong, so he's healing quickly. But so many things are so wrong still. And so we did the AromaTouch, and his foot was really hot. So when you think of a fever, you guys we've talked about it. What oil would you put on a fever? You guys,
Peppermint.
peppermint. So we put peppermint on the foot during the aroma touch. When we were all done, you just do the aroma touch in one full program. Then I put that peppermint on the top part of the arch of his foot on the top, that it was just burning and pins and needles, that horrible nerve pain. And when he got his shirt back on and sat down, I came back in to talk to him. He said, it's gone. That tingly pins and needles gone. Now, I don't know if it's gone forever, but right then he got relief from that pain. And it was not a hard thing for me to just share what I know, because I don't know what will help his pain, but he's in a bad place with living with this constant pain and wanting his body to heal. But I do know that the essential oils on his spine on a regular basis and on his nerves is going to make a huge difference for them. And when he jumped over this barrier thinking there was road on the other side and fell 40 feet, his wife they had a 5-month-old baby and they have four other kids. So her giving him the aroma touch yesterday, I could see her visibly calm down from the aroma and getting the oils through her hands. And he had a wonderful experience. So they decided they wanted to be able to do this at home, and they purchased an aroma touch kit. And so they now have their wholesale account and they're at home and they're committed. The two of them just said, let's just figure out our schedule and do this for him every day. I will keep you posted on what happens, because I know good things are going to happen. I don't know exactly what it is because I don't know how his body's going to take this. But that's how hard it is to share oils. It's just knowing these people and them saying, would this help? And I know it will help. I just don't know exactly how at this point, but it's going to be just continued miraculous healing in some way, because they work. They're amazing. So that's what it means to share oils, is to be able to help somebody who's not slept for 2 months because of the pain, sleep again. And now refreshments. These are the best cookies in the world. If you love cookies, if you love sugar, if you love treats, this is a great Christmas one, and it highlights the cardamom essential oil. So take a picture of this one if you want to try something different. And they're red velvet because you put the red in there, but they're just so chocolatey and yummy, and the white chocolate just makes them really festive for red cookies with white. So anyway, this one's a fun one to try, and you use your cardamom. And just whenever you use the oils in cooking, just be really careful, because when it says 1 drop, it doesn't mean 2.5, because it can come out faster than you plan on. So be very vigilant on the adding the oil part so that you don't get too much, because they're really strong. Remember that, really strong. Okay, now it's time for the everyone winner. We have to take Trisha off. She's off. Oh, I guess it's automatically doing that for me now. If you already won, you don't get to be on there again. Okay, so who is, help me with this, Megan, so I don't miss anybody. Misty joined us. Hi, Misty. Becky. Oh, I already had Becky on there. Linda.
Yeah, you need Linda. And I think that's everybody.
So we got everybody on there. Okay, all righty. Thank you for sticking with us to the end. I just can't say enough wonderful things about the company of doTERRA. So thanks for letting me brag about them, because I think they're amazing. All right, here we go. Who gets the second purple envelope? Oh, you know who we didn't put in here? Never mind, never mind. Oh, is Tammy still here? No, Tammy's gone. Okay.
No, she jumped off.
Cindy. Congratulations.
Yay, thank you.
Okay, you have to undo your camera and say hi. Okay, never mind. That sounded like forget it.
Okay.
No, I understand. I have several meetings where I keep my camera off as well. Well, congratulations, Cindy and Trisha. I'm glad you were here today. Next week is Women's Week. And next week, Ruby is going to be here, and Megan, you're on vacation, so we'll figure out how that looks. And it's
Nicole
a great.
said, Nicole
ahead.
said she could jump on and help, and I'll try to be on, but yeah, next week's my favorite class out of all of these. So really make an effort to come because it's such a good class.
It really, because you're a woman, and even if there was a man on the class, he lives with a woman, or he knows a woman, or he came from a woman. So it's like pertinent for everyone. It's a great class about women's health and hormones. And so join us same time, and we will see you then. Thank you so much, everybody.